Hello friends, this is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and today I am introducing you to the latest character that is being added to the game. I am excited to present the Range Trooper. Now, for those of you who are fans of the Solo movie, or who've seen the Solo movie, or who have just seen pictures of the Solo movie, you're going to recognize this character from the train heist. Now, again, your feelings of the Solo movie aside, this is a very, very interesting character, and for this game is going to be doing a lot of really cool things for the Imperial Trooper faction. Now, first and foremost, one of the things that I really like about this character is the design of it. I think they stay really, they do really well, the art department of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. They do really well designing these characters. They make them look very similar or very much as closely related, as close in proximity to the characters in the movie. But I really thought this was cool because I like the boots, I like the fur, I like the character. In all, I think this is really neat. Now, for those of you who know me, for those of you who see my videos, you know that Imperial Troopers, the dark side in general, is not my strength. It's not something that I really like to play with. I am light side all the way. I love the Jedi, even though they were flawed. I love the Republic. I loved the old Republic, even though, again, flawed. You know, what political system isn't? I like the light side. I like the light side of this. When I play other Star Wars games, I struggle with killing Jedi. I'm weird like that. But this is a really solid character and takes the Imperial Trooper faction tag to a new level that I really respect and like. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with the Imperial Trooper faction tag, I mean, if you're very new to the game, you know, it's just a separate faction. Obviously, for those, I mean, that's very basic, but this character is an aggressive Imperial support that provides other Imperial Trooper allies with assistance chance. Now, what's cool about this is, like a lot of the characters that they try to design, they try to say, well, what does this character encompass? What is this purpose, right? And it sounds like they started with the fact that these characters are magnetically connected to the train via boots. So it's kind of funny because essentially they designed a character around a wardrobe choice. I don't know, but with that, this character has like a crazy high tenacity and is going to give other characters, other Imperial Troopers, some much needed survivability. And so let's kind of look at, I'm going to go through and look at his kit real quick. And as always, I'm going to take you and I'm going to look at the one thing that I like doing is taking these characters and testing them against the Rancor. Clearly, this is not a Rancor viable kit, and you probably don't care, but it's really cool to see how the Imperial Troopers work together in this faction against the Gamorrean guards. They work as you'd expect against the Rancor. They get eaten, right? That's just what Rancors do. His first attack, his basic attack, is called Take Aim, and it says deal physical damage to target enemy. This damage deals 30% more damage if Range Trooper is buffed. Now, there's a lot of buffs that can be put on Range Trooper. There's a lot of teams that are going to keep Range Trooper buffed. So having him have that extra 30 damage, it's pretty nice, right? But what's nice about this is it's 30% damage, and he's going to be helping out his other fellows. His first special is called Steady. It has a cooldown of 3. All Empire allies gain protection up, which is 40% for 3 turns. All Empire Troopers or Imperial Trooper allies recover 30% protection and gain Retribution for 3 turns. Now, Retribution is awesome because if you're going to take this against a team that is mass effects, area effects, it's going to be a very beneficial thing because you have then all of your Range Troopers or all of your Imperial Troopers working together to essentially retaliate against an attack, which means they're going to be hitting often and going to be doing some serious damage against AoE heavy teams. Those are teams that rely on this. So maybe we're going to see an Imperial Trooper surge in the meta. I don't think that this is meta defining by any means, but I do think that this is going to make kind of a change to some of the cool gameplay. His unique is called Power in Numbers, and it reads, Range Trooper has 70% tenacity while he is buffed. While Range Trooper is active, Imperial allies have a 50% chance to call another buffed Imperial Trooper ally to assist when they use an ability during their turn, doing 20% less damage. Now, as always, when I throw these teams together, I wanted to see how effective they would be with just some really random Imperial Troopers. Now, in the Rancor video, I have Stark, I have Veers as my lead, I have Range Trooper, I have Magma Trooper, and I have Snow Trooper. Now, not necessarily the best combination. Snow Trooper, his unique that he provides other Imperial allies is 20% critical damage, which not terrible. Magma Trooper has a plus 30% tenacity while he's alive to allies. So that, while Range Trooper is buffed with Magma Trooper, that's a 100% tenacity. That's nothing to scoff at, right? That's not terrible. Again, maybe not the most effective, but still. Under Veers, he's going to get 30% offense. He's also going to get 20% plus 20 speed and 10% turn meter whenever they gain a buff, right? And so that potentially can be often. While Veers is active, Imperial allies have a plus 15% critical chance. So total what you were seeing is a plus 35% critical chance. That's pretty effective. You saw a ton of criticals being thrown on the Gamorrean guards. And then Stark grants plus 50% armor penetration. And that's pretty solid. Stark also does a critical chance up, critical damage up. He can help buff. It's not a bad team. I really like this. And I think that it's going to help out a lot of players who've invested in the Imperial Trooper faction or who've invested in the Imperial Trooper tag, and I think it's going to help in mostly PvE areas. I'm curious to know if he's going to be coming with a train as a vehicle. You could maybe take a train into space battles. Probably not. I think that would be pretty sweet, but I doubt it. I do like the concept of this. Again, I don't think this is necessarily meta-defining, but I think that it is solid character and a solid team. Now, the next character, the next battle that I really want to show you is under a Thrawn lead. Now, Thrawn is a solid character, and again, I'm using a very similar team that I used last time. Now, in this, I'm using a Thrawn lead, a Colonel Stark, I'm using Range Trooper, Short Trooper, and General Veers. So they get all of those additional things. But under a Thrawn lead, they're going to have an increased max protection, increased offense. They're going to gain turn meter whenever they resist a detrimental effect, which Range Trooper is going to resist detrimental effects left and right. They can recover turn meter, and they can recover protection when they gain or lose an ability. And they get that whole new special ability to dispel all buffs on them, and so it helps out. It also is going to help Thrawn with uses ebb and flow, right? So when he's fractured someone, it's he can have that crazy high counter chance. So everyone on your team, everyone on this team specifically, has a counter chance if you use ebb and flow effectively or appropriately. Just look how quickly they take these characters down. And now, again, these aren't the best characters. This isn't something phenomenal beyond belief, but it's still a very solid look at. I mean, look at Short Trooper. When he gets taunt, he's going to be hitting back like every time, and that's going to be very effective. And when you get one of those AoE effects that just hits, this is going to just decimate the attacker. Now, I've shown you a few different. I think there's a lot of potential here with this character, and I think there's a lot of potential with this tag. Now, I think that as we play around with it, definitely we'll get more insight as to how they look, how they feel, how this trooper affects the overall tag, how it'll affect the Empire tags, how it'll affect other areas of the game. I do think this is going to be a solid PvE character. I don't think that we're going to see it much in the way of arena, but I do think that there's definitely some potential there. What do you guys think? Are you excited for this? For those of you who love the Imperial faction or the dark side, is this something that you're excited for? Leave a comment in the section below. Like, subscribe, share this video with your guild. Join us on Discord and check out my webpage, goingnerdy.com. This has been Thaddeus for Going Nerdy, and as always, my friends, stay nerdy.